Let's paint a spring bus together. Information to get a tracer and a full list of supplies, including colors, is below in the description box. So here I'm just adding some water into my paint. I'm using a flat brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in, color block, the areas of the bust that I want this off-white color. Feel free to change up the colors. I'm using the edge of that flat brush to get me a crisp line. And at this point, I'm doing nothing more than just color blocking that one color in, just like, if you were coloring in a coloring book. Use brushes that feel good for you. Thin coats are best than big, old, thick, gloppy coats. So we're just going to keep filling that bust in wherever we want that lighter shade. Don't forget the mirrors on the side. Just fill them in. Now you'll see me tip the brush on the tip and double loading. I do have a video that goes into greater detail on double loading, but I'm double loading the brush with a little bit of white on that outer edge, and I'm just taking that wherever I want a bit of a highlight and using that flat brush flat. I am just putting that white paint there, and as long as your two colors are still wet, the more you brush back and forth, the more blended that they will become. So I'm just doing that deep V and highlighting with the white and going around the windows a bit, going under the windows a bit. And you just want to keep blending those two colors together until you're satisfied with the blend. I'll just go back and pick up a little bit of white here and there. Now I'm moving to my blue shade. I'm putting on, some of the colors that I want to use. Feel free to switch up your colors. This is your painting. So use that edge of the flat brush to get a nice crisp line and fill in the windows with your blue. Feel free to stop and pause this video at any time while you're painting to catch up, because I know I'm moving a little bit fast here. We want to get this in a short amount of time. But I'm just color blocking one color in, and then in a few minutes you'll see me dip the end of the brush. So we'll flip that flat again and pick up a little bit of white. So we're going to double load that brush. And again, I do have a video, I'll link it below in the description box, that will show you in greater detail how to double load a brush. I'm just going to add some highlights on that window here and there. You can also use a darker shade. You can go in and add some gray, but I want to try to keep this soft and muted, but not too dark. All right, so I'm going to now go in with my peach pinky shade that I'm using for my bus, and I'm going to color block the other areas of the bus now. Right, so we're just going to block those in. We're going to use that flat edge of the brush to get that really crisp edge right up along the V of the bus. So continue to fill in. When you've color blocked all of that color in, you can double load your brush with a different shade, then also go back in with some white and do the double load. See how I'm adding a highlight toward the outer edge of the bus. I'm going to go all around the outer edges of anywhere that I made peachy pink. So I'm going to add a little highlight so that will make that pop. So take a few minutes, color block, and then add all of your little highlights in. See how we're just going to go around each of those triangles of the bus. Take your time and work on that. Now, if you're liking this video so far, please hit that like, subscribe, and possibly share this video with someone else who would like to learn how to paint. Next, you're going to go ahead and switch to the little heart that's in the middle of the bus. Just go ahead, color block that in with the same color that I'm using here. And again, the list of colors is below in the description box. And you can also find the directions to get the tracer for this. So we're going to color block that in just like so. And you can go ahead and double load and add some highlights around the heart as well. Up here now, we're going to add some little flowers. Just using a round brush, we're going to press on that brush and pull it to the middle of a flower. And as you pull in, you're going to lift up on the brush. That is a comma stroke, and you'll see it here. Press hard, pull in, and lift it to the point, and it will give you that tapered middle. I'm just adding dots to the center of my flowers in colors that I've used in other places of the bus. Feel free to use whatever colors you like, guys. Now I'm going to go in with that blue, just like we did with the windows with the round brush, and I'm going to fill in the headlights. So you're going to color block your headlights just like we did. And then instead of double loading, I'm going to dip that dirty brush, you'll see in a minute, into some white paint. And I'm going to just add a ring of white around each of these blue headlights. And then we're just going to work the paint in and blend it a little bit. Get ready. You're going to see it right here. We're just going to put the ring of white around. You don't have to go all the way around, but it adds a cute little highlight. With that black, I'm going to use my flat brush again, and I'm going to just fill in or color block in the wheels of the bus. It's really that simple. As soon as we're done with that, black is a pretty harsh color, as you guys probably know. So you don't want to have too much on your brush, but with that dirty black brush, I'm going to dip the tip of it into the white here in just a few seconds, just like we've done everywhere else. So I'm going to double load that brush with the white. See that? I'm going to pick a side of the tire and pull that down and across the bottom to add a highlight. I'm going to then go on the other side and add another highlight. It's really that simple. Now I just took some white and a little bit of black and made gray. I'm going to fill in the bumper here, guys. So color block in your bumper. And then you'll see I picked up a little bit of extra white that will blend through with some streaks. Blend it until you're happy. And then I'm going to dip very little bit into the black, go right along the top of the bumper. See how that just gives an added bit of a shadow. So again, that's just double loading. We're going to do the same now up with the mirrors because I want them to be like a metallic look. And then I'm going to go around in a circle with my flat brush with the darker towards the edge. You can flip the colors if you so like. I just wanted to have the darker more to the outside because my background is white. I'm just going to grab a little bit of bright green and I'm going to paint almost like little diamond shapes for my leaves. I'm not doing anything fancy. You can see here I'm just adding some leaves. Feel free to use the pattern or freehand them yourself. And then I'm going to make sure your paint's thin enough. And I'm going to just line the heart in the green. And then because I wanted it to be a little bit of retro feel, I went ahead and did a little peace sign by going about halfway up with an upside down V. And then I'm going to draw a line down and meet them in the middle. So we have our little peace sign. I'm going to fill in my front license plate or vanity plate. And you guys can put any word that you want in that. You can leave it plain. Let it dry and put on as many coats as need be until you're happy with it. All right, here's a little tip for lining. Use a fine liner brush and thin your paint to like a thin syrup consistency, right? So that's going to help you get those thin lines. And I'm just going around each part of the bus now, I'll pick up a little bit of paint on my brush as needed. See here, and then I'm just going to pull the black outline around the bust. I'm not being extremely careful to make sure my lines are perfectly sized. I just am going around, and there are breaks in between. Not everything is perfectly connected. Have fun with it. So we're just going to continue to do that all the way around the bust. See there's some wobbly lines. Don't let the fear of needing to be perfect keep you from painting, because obviously you don't need to be perfect. Just go ahead and finish putting all those black lines around your bust. And I do end up doing the flowers up at the top as well. And then in a couple of minutes, we'll finish this up and we'll put some lettering inside of the vanity plate. Right, so look at those flowers. They're not perfect, and I just love that little fun look that it gives. All right, so I'm just going to hand letter a word in my bus. It's the Wonder Bus after all. So little tips for lettering. Use a pencil. Put your words in there first with a pencil. Then go back in with your paintbrush or your paint marker and add your strokes. If you would like to learn more about hand lettering, look below in the description box. I have a number of books for sale on Amazon. Follow me on social media. Like, share, and subscribe to these videos here on YouTube and learn more about lettering and art.